Hi, my name is Antonino Lombardi. I am a third-generation barber hairstylist, and today I'm going to be talking to you and sharing you some tips and tricks that I do with my clients who have autism, disabilities, and just for good practice. So the most important thing is client consultation. When it comes down to client consultation, you want to ask the client and ask the parent what is it that they're sensitive to, whether it's smell, touch, feel, or any noise. As far as touching them, you want to make sure that as if you're tilting their head, you put the hand on their shoulder and you tilt their head. You always want to make them feel comfortable. Anytime you talk to them, you want to look into their eyes and just kind of guide them on what it is you're going to do, how you're going to do it. The second important thing would be smell. You have to be careful on what kind of scents you're using, whether it's a styling product, whether it's sanitizing, alcohol, or any sort of aerosol sprays. Smell can be known as a sensitivity issue. Third most important thing is feeling. Whether your client is feeling down or feeling up, you always want to put them in a position where they're going to be feeling happy and feel good. And that's when they get a great haircut, is you make them feel good, and that's what it's about. The fourth most important thing in your client consultation is noise. Anyone could be sensitive toward noise. Whether it's your clippers or trimmers, you always want to try it on your arm first, then you can try it on your client's arm so that they know that it's not painful and it just tickles. So always be patient and aware of what you're doing with your client. Just give them the best service you can give them and make them feel good.
No problem, I shall transform your hair, create a masterpiece. I am an artiste with a pair of scissors.
My new cuts got him talking at the barbershop. Fresh from the barbershop, fly from the beauty salon. My new cuts got him talking at the barbershop. I got a show where you can listen and view. My new cuts got him talking at the barbershop. Bringing barbers and stylists together with the ScissorSalute. My new cuts got him talking at the barbershop. One cut, two cut, three cut, four. Nails done, hair done, everything did. Nails done, hair done, everything did. Oh, you fancy. Spending hours in salons on your hairstyle.
For the Lord protects his barbers and he makes the stubble grow.
Scissor! Salute!
Welcome to the ScissorSalute show. Just want to apologize. Last week, I'm sharing on Facebook, and I got knocked off. They knocked me off, and
They're not your friends, Eli.
they blocked me. That's what I'm saying. Like, why block me? You know. And I got knocked off, but we're here. Welcome to the ScissorSalute show. My name is Eli, the barber, with my co-host.
Blaze and Blush, we live. Thank you for joining us on the ScissorSalute show today.
And our special guest,
Sneed the Barber. Sneed the Great.
Sneed the Great, Sneed the Barber, Strictly Skills Barbershop from Queens. We have the iCup Pro fraternity here in the studio. It's all in the mix in here. So let's get into the meaning of the ScissorSalute. Oh, forgot to tell you. The show is co-produced by the co-owner, New York Queen, produced by the owner, Sephro, and we are broadcasting via StrongIsland.tv, Paradise Studio on Long Island, and we got LA and Jay on the boards. ScissorSalute. Let's get into the meeting, which is a compliment, greeting, compliment, gesture, and a brand, lifestyle dedicated to bringing barbers and hairstylists together. And we use the ScissorSalute show as an outlet to actually make that happen. Every Monday night from 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Time, we give the opportunity for the visual artists to come down here and showcase their skills live on the ScissorSalute show stage, while also conducting interviews with them so you can find out how they got started, where they currently are, and where they plan to be going on their hair journey. You see that social media has had such a big impact in our profession that we feel like we're getting it back. No longer do we have to rely on companies to, get us out there to get paid for education. This is the era of the independent educator. And some people might feel like, okay, I could do this, but you never know what you are capable unless you step outside of your comfort zone. Here at the Scissor Salute Show, we give you the opportunity to cut hair outside of your comfort zone. You get mic'd up so you can hear your voice on the microphone. That might throw you off too. And we also allow you to do tutorials. That's an option, but you would have to let us know. So if you would like to showcase with us, advertise with us, book us for your next event, whatever, just email us, scissorsalute@yahoo.com. Leave your information, your contact, and we'll get back to you in the order that the email's received. Now, there was a little topic at hand with a barber that I was scrolling through, and she posted up, sorry for all the pictures that I'm posting up. This is for the haters who just think I can taper. So she posted up fades, undercuts, beards, and she said it for all the haters. My comment, well, first of all, keep on posting. The haircuts are fire. My comment to that is this. Okay, you want to address the haters? No problem. If that's what they want to call. Listen, we're in a profession where people are going to be critiquing you. But you also have to understand, sideline talk is so easy. It's so easy for people to talk from the sideline while you're in the trenches doing what you're doing. They can sit there and say whatever they want because it's so easy, because they're watching you. So people are either sideline talking from the side, or they're in the trenches and they're so far behind that they get a great view of you to see you doing what you do. So they got a great view of watching you do your thing. Listen, people are always going to say something about you, no matter what you do, whether your haircut's as good as this, or no matter what. Sideline talk is easy. To me, just look straight. Don't address nothing. Don't address nobody, because it's only going to slow you down. Keep it moving forward. And ScissorSalute, I think her name is Prissy. She actually owns a barbershop in Texas. And remember that whole slack about like a month ago? Well, there was a barber talking about stop with the graffiti in the barbershop. It's like, to me, I feel like just let people do what they do. I don't really care. Just stay out of jail. That's it. Stay out of jail. Stay off the negativity. No one should be able to tell you how to put money in your pocket. They could advise you to maybe better situations, but you're not going to benefit off of putting someone down to make yourself look better. I mean, it's just not going down like that. Let's do a recap of last week's show. And we'd also like to just say Scissor Salute, because the show was smashing. Great hit.
Yeah, that was a good show.
From Street Fame Barbershop, located in Jersey City, New Jersey. I think the New Jersey streak ended today, or we have barbers in here from New Jersey today too.
No New Jersey.
Okay.
Queens, right? Queens.
New Jersey's been in here for
Queens, Long Island.
2 months. From Jersey City, New Jersey, we had Lady J Cuts. Salute to Lady J Cuts.
Salute.
This was like her third or fourth time back here on the show. She showcased on the road for us as well, different venues. She has a product line coming out, and she has an event coming up where she's just like straight dedicating her time cutting children's hair.
She's so dope.
Like volunteering to cut children's hair. She also has a chair at her house to cut autistic kids. So say she doesn't have the time to cut you on, while she's at the shop or whatever, she gives the opportunity for the, kids that are autistic to come over and get their hair cut. So I think that's dope right there. And her volunteering her time for the haircut event that's coming up. Salute to that. And from The Perfect Cut, located in Seaford, New York, makeup artist and licensed cosmetologist, Sophia Jimenez. The IG handle is Makeup by Soph J. And she came here and she did New York and Queens makeup. Matched it really good to the hair. She gave us her insight. One of the reasons why she chose to do makeup, although she is a licensed cosmetologist, when you just love something and you're able to make money off of it, it's always good. And we also had, in studio guest, we had owner of The Perfect Cut, Sandy. The IG handles The Perfect Cut too. Now, Sandy's a pioneer doing hair. At one point, she was running an establishment with about over 15 chairs.
She started when she was like 15,
yeah,
right?
She started when she was 15. and she had her first business when she was 24 and was at one time running an establishment that I believed had over 10, 15 chairs. She took a little bit of time off and then came back, and now it's more like a studio where it's just her and Sophia working at this establishment. So salute to that. And we also had Jesse That Cut. Jesse That Cut has been a big supporter here at the ScissorSalute show. Comes in here and he fills in as a host and he does a great job. I believe he has a show every Wednesday, 8:15. Yes. He has a stream that he does on Instagram every Wednesday at 8:15. Where you can go
Facebook.
And Facebook. So you can either see him on Facebook or Instagram, and he covers numerous topics in the barbershop, and like barbershop chop. And our financial segment, we have Dante Stevens, creator of the BBA. His IG is Dante_financial, and the BBA is Barber and Beauty Association. Looking forward to having health benefits, life insurance, and just to better the future of the profession. And it's an opportunity for the profession to get on course in the right direction. So salute to Dante and everything that he's doing.
Salute.
Who do we have this week?
This week we have iCut Pro and Strictly Skills in the studio. You guys have some information for us, right?
Yeah.
So
Always have information.
okay, that's what's up. So stay tuned. And then we also have Sneed the Barber showcasing. And he's at Sneed_DA Great #1. So
Slide on, hold on, yeah, slide on. What's going on?
Yeah.
You guys also got to remember, we said
Don't
this
be
is
shy.
a live show. This is a live show, so sometimes stuff like that, I looked up at the screen, I'm like, yeah, you know, on there.
And then we also have with us Ty Bernard of iCut Pro. I'm sure you've all heard of iCut Pro. He'll also be sharing some information with us. And John Carlos de la Cruz, he'll be showcasing as well.
You know, he's going to be an in-studio guest.
In-studio guest.
Great
okay.
thing with John Carlos de la Cruz is he is a hairstylist. He is a Tony and Guy graduate. I believe he's from Rhode Island, and then he relocated to California. So he's in Beverly Hills. So to me, I feel like it's inspiration. You can see people like A-Rod, Marcus PH. They went from El Paso and they took that travel over there to California, and they're making it happen. I know in our profession, some people doubt because we get so comfortable working where we work. So, you know, we're not willing to make that sacrifice to that big change. It's hard. It's not easy. I know that. Yes.
Would you be willing to do it? Say if somebody hit you up and invited you.
I mean, it's hard because I have my family. If the math is gonna add up and it wouldn't be affecting us that much, I think I would be able to. You know, fortunate wifey's an RN, so we both have that type of career where we could set up shop anywhere.
Anywhere, yeah.
She's a licensed RN, and you know, hospitals always hiring. It's like barbershop. So we here with Sneed the Great One. This is not the first time here on the ScissorSalute show. He's been here, I believe this is your third or fourth time back here on the show.
That's correct.
Okay, so third or fourth time back here on the show. We met here at the show.
I do want to mention that's _X showcasing on the
Okay, so we have what is it? Profade?
Profade _X.
Okay, Profade _X. Profade _X. And we're gonna this should just be Profade X. Profade, you don't never want to put no underscores up in your name. The underscores throw you off, man. Well, we have Sneed Great from Strictly Skills Barbershop. One of the things that stood out when I met this gentleman was the hours that you will put in the shop.
Yep.
And when I see you at BarberCon this year, you told me that you had a goal. You had a goal that you was trying to reach a certain number by the end of the year.
Oh, that number is real reachable right now.
Yeah.
Close to it.
And this guy, he goes to an event. He's taking breaks. Like the shop is still open. He's like taking a break, just checking the event, and then going back and cutting hair at the shop.
It's a fact.
Dedication.
He's literally in his barber jacket. Like he's not wearing a barber jacket. Like, hey, I'm at a barber event. Let me wear a barber jacket. He's like, nah, I'm taking a break. and then I'm going back and cutting the hair. Let us know about the hours that you put in. You know, why do you feel like you got to put them hours in?
I mean, I put in a lot of hours. I mean, not cause I need to like be there all the time, but it's cause I love the barbershop. And like me, I'm a single guy, so if I leave and go home at 8 o'clock, then I'm just watching the same sports I would have been watching if I'm in the shop.
Right.
So I stay a little bit longer, you know. But I mean, as of recently, I've been trying to cut back on the hours though, cause I try to work smarter, not harder. Try to get at least $100 out of my customers at one shot.
One shot?
One shot. You know what I'm saying? I know.
Which services are those for $100? Let me know. I like to know.
Well, haircut is $40 to $50.
They start at $40.
40, 45 with a beard. So if you add enhancements on top of that, that's $30. So now you're up to around 75. And if they say they want a black mask, that's about 25. That's 100. And then, you know, we throw in a hot towel for you.
Sold. Sold.
You know what I'm saying? So for those guys who want to take the spray paint out the barbershop, the spray paint adds about $30 extra on top of the cut.
Oh,
so
man.
I can't take the spray paint out the barbershop.
Listen, I'm one of those guys that I support the profession. There's no way you can tell someone how to make money and say that you're not a real barber. Like, how many times I've been around, you know, our golden event. I can't stand when I run into I'm a traditional barber. What? You're traditional? What does that mean? So all you doing is pompadour? Like, I don't. What does that mean?
That's a barber that's afraid of growth.
Yeah, just I'm a traditional barber. What? Oh, I don't believe in the like what? Listen, man. I'm sorry, man. You can be happy with the $30 haircuts, whatever. I'm not gonna sit here and let you know and tell you, oh, you're not a real barber because you're doing this, you're doing that. Get the money.
Not just that, for the new customers that come in with a haircut off to the Instagram because they screenshotted it, and that screenshot has enhancements on it. What are you gonna tell them? What are you gonna tell them? Oh, I could get it like that naturally. Nah, you can't. You can't achieve that look. So in order for me to achieve that look, I'm gonna tell you that's a haircut, and also on top of that, that's enhancements. So that enhancement is gonna cost you 30 extra on top of that 45, right? So that's more money for you. Why are you shortchanging yourself?
Yeah. So get right into that.
So when you first became a barber, what input did you want to have on the industry?
I just really wanted to make money for real, like, you know, like, I mean, I love the haircutting. I love the whole aspect of changing somebody, like, situation as far as, like, the way they feel after the cut. Like, oh, man, you hooked me up. Like, I wasn't going to go out, but going out now.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Often.
So I like that aspect, especially the way I cut hair. I don't really ask you what you want. I give you what I feel you deserve, and you just gonna like
Salute
it.
to that.
Right?
No, I get my fellow co-workers get at me all the time for that. They'll be like, yo, listen, you give him what he wants. Give him what he wants. No, because he has possum hair. And if you give him a taper right here, that possum hair, you ever like fade, you just like buzzers just get near the hair and it come off.
Yeah.
And now he wants taper, and if you got a receded hairline over here, like my man, let me just hit you with a low fade because you don't have that taper thing.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
And you know how you're saying screenshots? I mean, bro, we can make like straight memes all day. I'll have a white kid come in here and have a black guy in the freaking, I want my hair like that, bro. Really? Am I getting punked?
Unless we switch your father around. That's the only way.
And now that over the years, has your perspective changed from what you first set out to do?
Definitely, because, you know, from going to like barber shows and that, it gives you it shows you that you could do more than just cutting hair. Like, barbers is selling product. They doing a lot more than cutting hair, so it's more money to be made out there. And I think that, you know, I got a nice little brand, so you got to sell them something. You know, an old hustler told me, anything will sell, nothing won't.
Yes.
So if you don't have nothing to sell, nothing gonna sell.
Well, that's what what's the name? Sandy said last week. You build it, You build it and they'll come.
They'll come, right.
So as long as you build it and working towards something, everything is gonna work out. As again, I can't have enough of speaking up on the enhancements and everything, because you know the year changes, everybody want to put their prices up, you know, and it seems to be a topic because you know we're coming to the end of the year. Well, we got like 3-4 weeks left, and then we're going into 2018. Now is when you see a lot of posts going about price changing. What is your your thoughts on price changing?
I mean, everybody want to change their price, but they don't want to learn more. So, like,
Right.
you gonna give somebody the same exact thing for more money. So you gotta learn. You gotta give them something.
Your services have to match your prices.
You want them to give you more, but you gotta give them some more too. So
Definitely.
you gotta make them. Like, see, one thing about my customers, when they come in the shop, they be like, man, you always got something new. You know what I'm saying? I'll be like, yo, let me try this on you real quick. I'm gonna just show you how it works. But if you like it, next week you pay me for it. Hit them with the enhancement.
You gotta keep them on their toes.
And they'll be against it. Nah, I don't want that. I'll be like, yo, nah, trust me, dog. It's gonna look good. If it don't look good, this one on me. Like, yo, Shorty said that thing look different.
Definitely. Now, over the years, we've seen you post up a couple pictures. You've cut a couple athletes. Recently, you posted up a picture yesterday. You was on set. You never came off of like, oh, I'm that guy. But something that we're seeing a lot more on social media, because we're very, very well connected, is celebrity barbers, and at the same time, celebrity barbers getting into differences. But what does the title celebrity barber entail to you? Like, what give us your thoughts on that.
I mean, I think the term celebrity barber is overrated, because I think a lot of them celebrity barbers be broke for real. Like, because a lot of them do a lot of stuff for celebrities that like free stuff.
Like pro bono?
Yeah, like.
Does they get a picture?
Like, give me a picture, give me a shout out if I cut your hair for free. Because I be dealing with, when I be going to deal with these celebrities, like, they want to shortchange you. And they always think, oh, for a haircut.
Willis said the same thing. Willis the barber.
Yeah, they be like, for a haircut, and I'm like, nah, dog. I left the shop. This whole thing just for a haircut is taking me 4 hours. So 4 hours in my shop, I'm gonna make more than $150, and you try and pay me $150. And transportation to get here was $70. If I gotta leave here, jump on the LIRR, that's $14, $28 round trip. And then you want me to get there fast, so I hop in the cab. And that's $30. Manhattan traffic is crazy, so that's $70, and you want to give me $150. So I just made $70 in 4 hours.
That's a no-no.
That's not good.
That's a no-no.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. So let's just let's go with that right there. Let's go with the 70 here, 70 there, the 4 hours. So what would it be then? What is worth needs time for you to go and cut someone?
I mean, usually I don't like cutting rappers, because rappers are real cheap. So usually, if I go cut a rapper, I'm gonna tell them my price.
You mean the ballers
They have money, though.
throwing 20 racks at the club can't throw you a rack or nothing?
Yeah,
a
but
rack of lamb?
they don't really see it that way. They'd rather throw $1,000 on the stripper and shortchange you. So I usually out of office $300, and that's usually like a 4-hour window. But that's minus that's not even including the expenses for real.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
So that's just base.
Yeah, give me 300. Cause these dudes be having what they call it, budgets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So once again, you're watching the ScissorSalute Show. This is a live program for barbers and hairstylists, makeup artists, for the showcase and come down. Great networking experience here at the ScissorSalute Show. If you'd like to showcase with us, advertise with us, email us ScissorSalute@yahoo.com. Leave all your contact information. We'll get back to you in the order that the email is received. If you would like to show us a quick support, if you're watching the program right now, please press the share button and share the show on your feed. Now we also have Donovan up in here from the Cut Studio. Again, another iCut Pro fraternity member.
Salute.
What type of impact has a fraternity had in your career?
Fraternity, I would say iCut Pro more so. The system have, because I was the first. I was one of the first ones besides Todd Bernard who created it. The importance of a system, business itself is running a system-dependent business, not so much as a people-dependent business. So I would say for anyone out there Whether you're a barber that rents a chair in the shop or you own a shop, you still want to run yourself and your business system dependent. So, for example, if you went to McDonald's anywhere in the country, you go to any McDonald's, it's the same system.
Yeah.
Same order for French fries, same order for the burger, for whatever. You walk up to the counter, somebody's gonna be there. Can I take your order? X, Y, and Z, whatever.
It's a blueprint.
Right. So if that person gets fired, the person at the register, the person behind burgers, it doesn't matter. All they're gonna do is bring in someone else, train them the system, and the product will still taste the same no matter where you go in the country. So it's the same thing with barbering. If we applied a system to our business and ran it that way professionally, which is what the iCut Pro system is, and this is why we teach it. If you could just go on and book a class, or join the academy and become a fraternity member, you'll learn the system and you'll be able to implement it and grow
So it's basically structure.
It's structure, and everything works better with
For
structure.
something that is a mess.
Right. So
Something, because it could, and again, I'm not saying that it's bad, but you know how it goes. It doesn't have to be that much of a mess, but at the same time, certain barbers are just so content with where it is. They're not searching for improvement.
And that's a problem.
So putting that improvement in there is great. Now, iCut Pro, iCut Pro, when you go to events, I feel like that's almost where you can really capitalize, because they already took the initiative. They're taking the initiative to get outside of the shop already and go to an event.
Right.
So I feel like that's you got to capitalize on that right there. It's not that it's bad, but you see so many barbers. You've been doing this for quite a while. So many barbers, that's it. They're content.
I've been in this business 28 years now.
Yeah.
So I've seen the business change. I've seen the industry change. The mentality of the barbers change. I've seen a lot over the years.
Yeah.
So like if I'm in Queens and Long Island, Sneed is in Queens. If we got another barber in California and one of our clients say, listen, I'm going to Cali, I got to work for a month. Is there a barber you can send me to? Yeah, I got an iCut Pro fraternity brother over there. Send you to that person and you'll get the same service, same quality of the product. You know what I'm saying? Everything is the same. So that quality won't be missing.
So it's a network.
It's a network. The iCut Pro system and the fraternity is basically a network.
Where do you think barbers mess up the most at?
Thinking they know it all. Barbers thinking they know it all, thinking there's nothing else for them to learn. That's how they stunt their own growth. So if you feel like you know it all and there's nothing for you to learn, you're going to get left.
Hello, you're live in there with the ScissorSalute show.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, Felicia, how's everything? Introduce yourself.
I'm good. This is Fee from She's the Barber from out of DC. What's going on, everyone?
Oh, we're doing
Salute.
good.
Salute.
What's up, Fee?
Now, on the line we have Felicia. She's the barber on IG. She is, where it was back in Philly, New Jersey, where we when I first met her, Seth. I was at the first Barbering is Life Expo, and you was like really just getting started on the social media, but now it's nothing. Now your work pretty much speaks for itself. Tell us about the improvements that you feel like you've made. What has been the most improvement that you've made in the past couple of years?
I'm really new in the industry, maybe about 2.5 years now. What I've realized that in order to keep a good pace is building a line of consistency. Like, you have to keep going in and out, like, all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, building a level of consistency and continue to post quality stuff allows you to build a steady platform. And that's what I realized over the short time I've been involved in this industry.
Oh, yeah, we was just talking about the skills. Yeah, I've seen the pages, something else. Now, you have an exclusive studio now? You're not working at a shop. You're also more like an exclusive studio.
Yeah, I'm in the studio in Southwest D.C., not too far from the nation's capital, and also not as far as a lot of the things that you see downtown, all the popular monuments. So I'm not too far from a lot of the things that you see on TV, National Monument, White House, and so forth.
And with the with the year about to change, what improvements do you think the profession can make?
As far as with
Well,
the
just to
industry,
better itself, like what kind of improvements does the profession need? What do we need? What type of change do we need?
in this industry,
Yep.
getting away from the old stereotypes, and the barbers need to understand that how much we need to get compensated as far as what we do in this industry. We do a lot more than we are getting compensated for. Once we are able to fill in that gap, that bridge, I feel like our industry will change as far as where we need to be. And that will move forward when we increase our education and understand that with systems, nothing can fail.
Felicia, what would you tell a new barber? What advice would you give a new barber on building their clientele?
As far as a new barber to build their clientele, I would tell them to start off early. When building as a new barber, you have to basically live in the barbershop. You have to be there when the time it opens and the time it closes. Like, there's no time where you should be like just be chilling, because when building a clientele, you have to be consistently there. And when clients are understanding that you are consistently there, you become reliable. And when you're reliable, you're building a value. So when you build this value, you build this consistency. When you build a consistency, you build a brand.
Right.
So it all trickles down to, building a foundation of, being there all the time, giving the client their service that they ask for, and giving something that they don't normally get from another barbershop. That's how you build a clientele, especially early on in your career.
Do you think the barber industry is changing for females since you started?
I believe that it became more popular. It became more known since over the last 2 or 3 years. I can't speak for 20 years from the past or 10 years from the past, but from what I've seen so far, a lot of females have come forth and a lot of women have grown in this industry. This became more known in this industry, that women become more involved.
So to that.
Well, Felicia, thank you so much for calling into the ScissorSalute show. If you're in the New York area, we'd love for you to have you come down here and showcase on the show. Chop it up a little bit more. But before we let you go, please let everybody know how they can get in contact with you, and all your social media information that you'd like to share with us. Please do so now. The stage is yours.
Sounds good. I can be reached at she'sthebarber.com, along with Instagram, She's the Barber. I'm located in Washington, D.C. in Southwest. Just come holler at me. And I'm also involved with ICA Pro Fraternity,
Right.
and so forth. So that's how you can really get in contact.
Well, thank you so much.
And enjoy that vacation too, Fee. I see you out there. Lobster and shrimp.
Thank you so much. Just having a good time.
Thank you so much for calling in. Once again, you're watching
Blessing.
Once again, you're watching the ScissorSalute show. This is a live program. This is not previously recorded. This is live footage right here. The show is dedicated to bringing barbers, hairstylists, and makeup artists together worldwide. And we use the ScissorSalute show as an outlet to actually make that happen. Every Monday night from 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Time, we give the opportunity for the visual artists to come down here and showcase their skills live on the stage, while also conducting interviews. So you can find out how the guests got started, where they currently are, where they plan to be going. If you're watching the show right now and you'd like to show us some support, please press the share button. Share it on your feed. Press the share button again. You can invite anybody and everybody to watch the show. Let people know that in the profession that there's something out there. There's an outlet for networking to happen right here on Facebook. So somebody that might have had the fire go out, send it to them, or someone who's new that doesn't know that it's out there. Let's get back to this interview with Sneed, Yvette.
For those of you who don't know, Sneed just recently lost a brother, Zanu. So since his untimely passing, what is the new hiring process?
I mean, I never really put a search out, but recently I hired a barber, but I knew him for years. He go by Land the Barber 72. I actually started sweeping up when he was cutting hair back in the days in Fatheads when I was around 12 years old. So I was sweeping up in that shop. That gave me the inspiration to become a barber. So, and he had what it was. He had called me just to send his condolences and stuff like that, and he told me if I'm looking for a barber, he willing to, you know what I mean, come on deck. So, and I was like, and I thought about it, and I was like, you know what, come on through, cause he got all the skills that it takes to be like one of like a strictly skills barber. As far as like he know how to cut, he know how to do designs real good, and you know he's well, and he's not too loud as a barber. You know,
He's
sometimes
professional.
when you hire a barber, you hire his customers too.
Right.
So he don't have the rowdy customers that come in smelling like marijuana and nothing like that. So
Loud noises.
yeah, so you know, and then you know he get into the stricter skills way of doing things, the fraternity ICA Pro way of doing things, and we could do business. So,
And
but
speaking of strictly skills, now that you're branding yourself again, you're having different merchandise, is different lanes opening up for you now.
I mean, it's not that it's opening up. I'm opening them. You know, like I'm opening the lane. So like,
Salute to that.
like
Definitely.
I'm definitely trying to get into the product. Not trying to get. I'm getting into the product selling. So I came out with a razor. You know, we sell the Strictly Skills T-shirts and stuff like that, and hats, and you know, all those stuff that make your experience a much better experience. You know,
And the watch.
and the watch also. You know, it's look like a Gucci watch, but
Is
it's
it
a
Oh,
Strictly.
strictly
Salute
salute to
to
that.
what?
It looks like a
Gucci
Gucci. I thought it was.
Yeah.
Strictly skills,
So
baby.
so
Who designed the watch?
I designed the watch,
So,
Okay,
and then I got my peoples in the manufacturers that put it together.
that's not the average shear around your neck too. I've seen that. So that's not the average.
What do you mean?
Like I've seen people with shears around their neck.
Oh no, it's not the gold plated one.
No, that's
It's
a
a
thick
little heavy.
That's a thick ass piece of gold right there.
Yeah. So, you know, I just like somebody told me, anything to sell, nothing won't. So I gotta have something to sell.
Let's get into this evolve or evaporate. I like that, evolve or evaporate.
I mean, pretty much evolve or evaporate is just like those barbers telling you take the spray paint out of the barber shop. See, one thing about enhancements is learning how to do enhancements to where you don't know the haircut is enhanced. Right? So, and because the reason why they call it spray paint is because it's obvious that you put some paint on it. But if you know how to apply that paint or enhancement the correct way, then I'm sure they're willing to get it. And it's going to put extra money in your pocket because that's extra. Anything extra is extra.
I really never understood that one. When people say, even on IG, people go back and forth, and you got some people that are talking about keep it this way, keep it that way. Like, I can't entertain why you're so worried about what the next person's doing. These guys ever played sports in their life? When you run that rock with the football, the coach will tell you look straight. You look to the sides, you're gonna get slowed down. So why are you entertaining and worried about what the next person's doing? Oh, because the next generation is learning the wrong way. What are you talking about?
The iPhone 4.
What are you talking about?
The iPhone 4 was ill at one time. You look at it now, man, it look different. You just gotta update.
We got to make money. That's it.
Do you have brand ambassadors for Strictly Skills?
Yeah, me.
Oh, so you're the only one.
I mean, yeah, for now. I mean, God rest my brother's soul. Me and him was the ones. The lifestyle, the jewelry, the everything. Going out, having fun. A lot of people used to tell me I never knew a barber have so much fun. Going on trips and enjoying your life. Made it look real interesting. Made people want to really do barbering.
And that's what barbering used to be
Yeah.
years ago.
Right.
Then it kind of like digressed, and now it's evolving and coming back up.
Right.
You know.
So what qualities do you look for in regards to your brand? If you were to hire a brand ambassador, what would you be looking for?
I mean, it's like going. I mean, I'm not sure yet. I just put out what I think look good, as far as like, watch and I try to take it somewhere beyond barbering. Like a watch, like it's not just for barbers. It's not a barber's watch. If you like the brand, the color, the logo, you should purchase it. It's not just a barber's watch. Like you could buy it for your husband for his,
For Christmas
and stuff like that. It's not just made for barbers. I don't put myself in that box. I want to go outside the box and to where it's available for everybody.
Definitely, I think that's what the changes, what it needs to be done. 2018, really worried about what you're doing, and if you're teamed up, worry about what your team's doing. If you're gonna be sideline talking, you're gonna limit yourself. Seth Rowe here at the ScissorSalute show said you can never go wrong being professional. Having a niche. It's like opening up a barbershop. You open up a barbershop, you're gonna restrict your money. You're restricting your money because you're labeling it as a barbershop. Now you open up a place of business, then now the income can be unlimited because you're opening up a place of business, and that's why you cannot be wrong being professional. Like you was mentioning earlier, have a loud in there and all that other stuff. You're limiting your money. You're gonna get hit with them $20 haircuts because that $50 haircut, $75 haircuts ain't gonna want to step into your barbershop. Now you open up a place of business, totally different tune. And there he goes. I cut Pro himself up in here. ScissorSalute to that. Always has some nifty hats on him. Always comes in here with that good old Caribbean feel. Yes, he does.
Now, is iCut Pro more geared to an existing barber? Like, let's say me, I'm in school right now. I'm a barber student.
Oh yeah, you cut hair?
That's dope.
I mean, not yet. I do baldies in season.
Okay.
Like, you need a shape up? You don't need a shape up? No. You need a shape up. I got you. But is it geared to existing barbers, or can somebody like me become part of the iCut Pro fraternity?
Anyone can be a part of the iCut Pro fraternity. Once you're a student and you want to learn this game and this business, and you want to conduct yourself professionally as one, open to everybody.
And it's better to learn the right way out the gate rather than learn those bad habits and have to break them.
Man. So if you come out the door right,
right,
you'll have much more of a success rate.
And what he just said too, not learning bad habits.
Right.
Remember that. Write that down. You want to learn something right now?
Yeah.
Not learning bad habits. Starting off with what she's doing. She's doing like the offering other services too. So that's good to just have that. And we had a question from John Williamson. How do I get into product selling, endorsing products as a barber? John, a lot of these barbers now have expensive cameras. Really stop worrying about posting up pictures, although it's good to get reposted, get the respect from your fellow barbers in the profession. But I suggest you have these expensive cameras, you record yourself, doing hair, and explain to these companies your value. What's going to separate you from someone else? What's going to be the benefits of hiring you? That's how you get the company's attention. Make a nice recording, some narrating, some editing if you have an iPhone, and that's how you get it done right there. Seth, we changing the tables here? We good? Still rocking?
Yeah, you got to invest in the visual.
Always. Yes. We talk.
Yeah, you got to invest in the visual because like that Big Mac don't look the same in person as it do in that TV ad.
It's some staging involved.
What does that's part of advertisement. So once you see that Big Mac on TV, it make you think, man, that Big Mac looks juicy on TV, and it makes me want to have a Big Mac right now. The way that's looking similar to the Red Lobster commercial. When they squeezing that lime on them crab legs, that thing look good. And then when you come out in Red Lobster, it look like it got microwave, right? But what got you into Red Lobster was that commercial. and it was shot with a red camera, top of the line. So you got to invest in the visual. You cannot have your iPhone on portrait mode and think it's going to take the same quality as these Sonys and Canons out here.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's what I'm trying to tell. We said this a lot on the show when people are just like the "how could I be down" question. The question shouldn't be how could I be down. The question should be can you put me onto what did you do to get to where you are? You know, I did an event, the CT Barber Expo, ScissorSalute to Maestro's Classic. I had the opportunity to work with them. So many people just kept on coming up to me like, yo, how do I get up there? How do they? That's not, the question isn't how do you get up there? The question is, what did they do to get there? You know? And anytime I'm on the mic at an event, I'm always telling people, listen, you walk around with these expensive cameras, really take the time, record yourself doing hair, and see if you actually have what it takes. Don't just sit there sideline talking. You're going to see that now. Now that you hear that sideline talking, you're going to be at the next event, you're going to be like, someone's going to be right in your ear and be like, man, there's sideline talk over here, boy. I seen him a year ago. He told me he was going to do this, do that, and he's still sideline talking. That's the only thing he was good at talking about. All right, so we come back here. We have ScissorSalute, have iCut Pro here. Now, a lot of you guys don't know the history of iCut Pro. iCut Pro was actually here at the first ScissorSalute show. The first couple ScissorSalute shows. He was here. He's been with us when he's seen us at the house studio, Blue Studio, the new studio, and now we're here at the newish studio.
Yeah, because this is
a lot of guys don't know he's a fellow Long Islander. He rebranded himself. Originally came out as My Barber's Black, and I seen the shirts came back in rotation there for a little bit.
Yeah.
He redid it.
Actually, I'm a little bit late. I was in Libya today. You know what I mean?
Today?
Trying to address some things.
All right. See, there's a man of all trades there, huh? Barber.
Man. Yeah, man. If y'all watching the news and you see what's going on in Libya,
yes,
you'll understand why we got to pay attention to that. So,
definitely,
that's kind of where we at. But
I think that's a little crazy what's going on over there.
If you guys are watching the news, man, that's something serious.
You know what it is. You're not going to see that on the news. I see it more online. I see it more online than anything.
Yeah. But the thing about it is that the talk is going to come into the barbershop, and I like to stay on top of what's going on current event-wise. You know what I mean? Because people are going to ask you, have you seen this? And it's like, if you're the barber, and it's like, you don't know. You know what I mean? Okay, so you feel like you're almost like a barber instructor and someone who's got to be filled with latest events, knowledge, sports. I think current events for the least. You know what I mean? For the very least. I mean, what's going on around you. You know what I mean? I'm not a big sports fan, but you know what I mean? I would
engage
like,
with their clients.
Yeah, I mean, if the Knicks played last night, I'm sure they lost, and I'm sure I'm gonna.
Disrespectful.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a jab right there. Huh?
No, but you know what I'm saying. Just to stay on top of current events, man, because we are like, parts of the community, and people want to talk about that stuff. You don't think so?
Oh, absolutely. We got people coming in the shop talking about stuff all the time, crazy stuff. Now it's more about like holidays and family stuff and relationships going up and down. But it's just everyday shop stuff. But I see that the iCut Pro fraternities making extremely great things happen for a lot of barbers. We're actually going to be coming back and we're going to be interviewing Todd and really getting into the whole iCut Pro. You yourself can find out how you can join the fraternity. I know that there's an app available, and then the benefits of being part of the fraternity. Besides the camaraderie that you obviously see here with these barbers that are in the studio tonight, a lot of things happen. I heard you mention that someone could get in contact. Someone has gotten in contact with you and you said, listen, I have a fraternity brother out there, and you could recommend them. So I feel like that's even the word of mouth itself changes up everything. So now there's different options that could be done there. And so I'm liking the feel right here. It's always good to have Todd in the studio here. Sneed, well, actually sit here. We're going to be finishing up. We got the cut cam. Is that cut cam still up? I can't really see if he's still. Yeah, he's still putting up the finishing touches or whatever. So, Sneed, is there anything you want to leave us with? Any gems you want to leave us with?
Sneedism?
Some Sneedism. There we go. Hit him with some Sneedism.
You know, brand building. Don't just keep posting all those haircuts and don't show your face. Right? You gotta put a face to the brand. So, you know what I mean? Always remember that. So when they spot you out in the street, they know who you are. So, you know, keep posting them haircut pictures, but post a little selfie. You know, give them a little story. Let them inside. Let them know how you thinking. Let them get attracted to you. And keep that brand building. Sneedism.
So you feel a caption is also a well-written caption is needed with a
caption is perfect because you know sometimes you know a person might be thinking the same thing as you, and they gonna hit the like button and they gonna say for sure, for real, word up, facts right up under there. So you know keep brand building, show your face. And, you know,
Speaking of brand building, is that part of the iCut Pro fraternity? Do you advise people on how to build a brand?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Like that's like my thing. You know what I mean? I remember when I first started branding myself with my Barber is Black, a lot of people said, "Man, that's not gonna work. It's not gonna work." And I was like, "Okay, watch." And all the things that I messed up with, I learned from, and all the things that I did well brought me here. You understand? So I do help other barbers with branding themselves and, you know, creating their brand overall, and I enjoy it actually. Yeah, so yeah, branding is definitely a big part of the iCut Pro system.
ScissorSalute to that.
Salute to that.
Hey, ScissorSalute to everybody that's watching this, man.
Tell them, let them know to share it though. Let them know.
I told them, I said, listen, share this now. So how many people have actually shared this on their timeline? Because we're getting ready to be like really turned up in a few minutes.
Exactly, because we'll let you know it's a live show. Nothing's previously recorded. Nothing's rehearsed. And we'd like to salute all the guests that have been here before and work with us. But if you are watching right now and you would like to show us some sort of support, press that share button, put it on your timeline, and tell people to tune into the ScissorSalute show.
Most definitely.
We're gonna be coming back with Giancarlo. Oh yeah. Before Snee's gonna be sitting in.
Yeah. Sneeze got a.
All right, so we're gonna do the outro. We're gonna do the outro later on, but I guess he's just gonna be switching seats with gentleman right here. All right, with Donovan. All right, so again, you're watching the ScissorSalute show. It's a live program. It's dedicated for barbers, hairstylists, and makeup artists to come down here and showcase their skills. We also conduct interviews with them so you can find out how they got started, where they currently are, where they plan to be going on their journey. We'd like to ScissorSalute everybody who's tuning into the show. And if you'd like to show some support, just press that share button and put it on the feed. Seth, we're doing a switcheroonie over here. All right, so just a reminder that, you know, we're going to have Giancarlo. He's going to be sitting down. Again, hairstylist, Tony and Guy graduate from Rhode Island, moved out to California, and now is in Beverly Hills. So this is going to be a good right here. Because Rhode Island ain't that big. It's pretty small. I believe Long Island has more people.
Yeah.
Suffolk County and Nassau County, our population is bigger than that state. We got 3 million here.
Oh.
We moved up.
Hey, the traffic went crazy.
Yeah, it is. You know what's crazy thing? The first time I met Todd, I went back into the data bank and
I walked into your shop.
You walked into the shop.
I walked into your shop.
You was
fixing clippers.
Yes, fixing clippers.
Yeah, that was my thing for a long time. Like I really didn't want to. I realized that I had a knack for like clipper repair and stuff like that. You know, just with my hands, and I would just say, you know what, I'm gonna focus on this for a while. You know, and that's how we met.
Yeah.
Walked right up in your shop, and you were like, "Nah, we good."
Yeah, I definitely said that, but I did notice, right? Even when we said no, I think one of the barbers got something done in there.
Yeah, definitely.
He took the information down to the shop that I stopped through here, but he was in Deer Park and he took that ride out to Mastic.
You know why? You know why I took the information? Because I knew if you didn't need something today, you're gonna need something.
Yeah,
right?
That's the one thing I noticed. That's what made me go, oh, wait a minute.
So you used to travel from shop to shop repairing clippers?
Yeah, I was really just tired of the barbershop environment for a while, and I figured the only way for me to be in close contact with haircuts is to be in other barbershops. You know what I mean? and I decided not to be in mine and to be elsewhere.
So you've always had that business mind.
Yeah. Always.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So salute to that.
Yeah, so I just wanted to mention that I first met him, and it was at Uncle Philly's, and he came in. Okay, so now sitting down, we have John Carlo, who made the way out here from California.
Yes.
Well, out here visiting. And you
Thank
want to
you.
introduce
Nice
your
to
guest
meet
with
you.
you?
And this is one of my closest friends, Rose. She's also a makeup artist in Rhode Island.
Oh, you might want to do that again. I might want to do that again. No, the handshake.
Oh, the hand. It's all right.
Did I leave you hanging?
Yeah.
I do that. I'm nervous. Can I get a hug?
I was live on that.
All right.
I'm sorry.
I'll get over it. You smell good.
Thank you.
So, I mean, how does it feel making that move? I know you came here last time on the show. You made the announcement on the show. You also did a segment where you was talking. But how does it? What's the feeling? The nerve-wracking feeling that you must have going from Rhode Island to California?
It's obviously one of the biggest moves I've ever made in my life. Maybe the only move I've ever made in my life. It was scary. It was scary because I didn't know what I was getting myself into. I just knew all my life that there was something more that I've ever wanted in art. I've always been an artist in so many different ways. But I knew that California was the place where I was going to grow the way I wanted to grow. I feel Rhode Island, that's home. I love Rhode Island. It's very small, the smallest state. But you can only go to a certain level there. There's not much to offer. I would say that personally, for me, there's not much to offer for what I want in my career. So I had to make that choice to leave, and it's been the best experience of my life. It's definitely been, it's hurt, but it feels good.
Well, how have you managed to, get your clientele out there, build the clientele?
I'm still building. Because what I did in Rhode Island, I did it in about 7 years. So that's 7 years worth of building a clientele. And that was probably the scariest part of moving to California, was the fact that you're starting completely over.
It's a lot
Literally.
of pressure.
Like a lot of pressure. And the pressure's a lot, it's a lot more than what it is, what you're used to, what you're familiar to, because you come from a place where everyone loves you and everyone is it's more personable. When you go to this new huge state where you have so much more to prove, and you have to prove to them why people in Rhode Island love you so much. So now it's like double the pressure. I've been doing really good with building my clientele there. Is it where I want it to be? Absolutely not. I've only been there for 2 years now. I literally started over. But it's whatever I'm doing now, it's working for me, and I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, California, it's only 2 states on that whole West Coast. What is it? Washington and California. So what do you feel like you're going to do, try to accomplish more in 2018? I know I've been asking this question a lot, but the year's coming up. Usually people set new goals and new prices, et cetera, et cetera. What's on the list for you?
Well, now my career has gone in a place where I never thought it was. Well, I've always wanted to, but I didn't think it was going to happen so soon. When I moved to California, my thought was I'm going to go and just bang it out. I'm clients to clients, and we do celebrities and all that stuff, That's what I wanted. That's what everybody's wanted, But my thing was I wanted to be like the it thing in Beverly Hills, working behind the chairs doing that. But now I'm hardly even in the salon. My salon will tell you that they probably see me once a week, because now I'm doing brand educating for Cadis, which is a Wella brand. Now I'm under a management, crowd management, which is more celebrity based. And I'm doing a lot more sets. I'm doing a lot more fashion work. I'm doing more editorial. And I'm very happy with that, because I did work behind the chair, I want to say all my life, but professionally 7 years. I did grow up in the salon. But now I'm in a place where it's more artistic. It's more in front of the camera, behind the camera, on a model, on a wig, and you can create more with what I've been experiencing now. And what I have planned with the 2018 is just continue climbing that ladder. I've always been someone that my main goal was always to live my dream. That's only the goal I've ever had. Have I ever had a plan? No. And I always get this question asked, where do I see myself in 5 years from now? But I'm thinking 5 years ago, I didn't even imagine I would see myself where I am today. So, yeah, I just keep climbing that ladder.
And you said you're a makeup artist?
Yes, I'm a
now,
makeup artist.
One of the things that we ask here on the ScissorSalute show to all makeup artists, I always ask, hands-on or airbrush? Which one you?
Traditional hands-on.
Traditional hands-on.
I do want to learn airbrush, but I haven't gotten to it. Maybe because it hasn't like attracted me to it. And most of my clientele is all traditional, so it hasn't crossed for me to, that transition yet.
And
So salute
for
to this beat, though. Look
Yeah.
at her. Eli, you're going to ask her about her lashes?
Oh yeah, this the latest trend right here is the eyelashes and the eyebrows. So what did you feel on the eyelashes? Well, I can see yours is fly trap. You can't have no bug on me.
She follows me in the salon when I'm doing a haircut. She's just picking them up. She's making herself some lashes.
No.
Got some foxes right there.
These are actually my favorite lashes. They're from New Balance. And brows and lashes are the most important thing in your face. Brows are what structure your face.
What does something like that cost? Like for lash extensions?
No, these are not extensions. They're strips. So they're the ones that you could buy at the store.
What's the difference between?
Take them off at night.
Yeah, these I could take them off at night and wash them and then reuse them. And then extensions are like actually on you and you don't take them off. They just fall off, I guess.
So what's the price on the extensions?
I know they vary from like 100 to 150, sometimes even 200. I haven't personally gotten them yet. These are just strips.
I've gotten them done.
Do you like them?
They were pretty dope.
What about the eyebrows? The what is it? The tattoo thing? The
microblading?
Microblading. Fan? Not a fan?
They look beautiful on people, but I don't think I would ever get them.
Well, no, we're asking because this is the things that are trending, of course, with the holiday season right now. What colors do you see that are trending right now? What is a big request coming in?
Well, I do a lot of weddings. I do more weddings than I do like a regular bee, or like if somebody comes and just says I have a date night and or I have a holiday party. I do more weddings. That's what I cater to the most. This weekend I just had a wedding of a party of 12 females.
Wow.
So, yeah, in 4 hours I did that.
And then you go hands in hands with the hairstylist?
No, I just do it by myself.
You don't have a comrade? You don't have a person that you do hair with, the 1 and 2?
No, not at the moment.
Well,
that was rough, right? I did my
that.
first wedding. That was rough.
No, it wasn't. I mean, I'm used to it already.
Okay.
So I've been doing makeup for about 5 years.
Okay. John, how important is it for you, even as an educator, to stay educated, to learn new things, new trends, new color trends?
I mean, for one, we all know that we are students for life in every aspect of anything that you do in life. There's always something to learn. It's very, very important in this industry to continue that education because style and fashion, art changes every year, every day actually. There's always something new, and if you're someone that likes to build the clientele and just have more of that attraction to your work or behind the chair or just bringing in those clients, you need to be updated with what's new because that's what they're going to come in requesting.
Of course.
It's very important, and it's deeper than that. It's not just about bringing the clientele or the money. It's also the experience that I've had as an artist, and I know that everyone can say they felt the same. We are very easily to fall out of our track when it comes to art. We can get so unmotivated, and we need that continued inspiration where we're not going to be bored, where things are not repetitive, where we just need to keep on growing, and that's where that education is, when you're still learning something new, you're keeping it fresh, and you're staying inspired with yourself, and you're inspiring others.
And now, in this land filled with unicorns and mermaids now.
And glitter.
And glitter. You know, what is your stand on like color correction and even color correcting some of the unicorns and mermaids that come in? The simple color correction.
Like my stand on how? What do you mean?
Like, you know, someone's coming in and they come in. You have someone coming in with some crazy color hair and it's done wrong. Let's say it's not blended the right way because along with the unicorn tribes and the mermaids, along with great work. I know you see it too. You're not seeing such great work. You're not seeing such precise blending at the same time. Like I can see a fade and be like, wow, that's a strong line in the fade. Same way I'm looking at someone's hair and be like, wow, you know, that's really blunt. There's really no transition. You know, you're going straight from like, you're literally seeing it in their head. Yeah. And then now you're adding a shine. So it looks like a line in their head. Now, are you taking care of color correction like that? And is that more money when it comes down to doing the vibrant colors?
It's vibrant colors, in order for you to get a vibrant color, obviously you have to go and lighten very light of the hair. So that's where the money is the lightening part, as opposed to just the color, the bleaching. Because to be honest with you, those fantasy colors, every one of the fantasy color in their hair does not last at all. You know, after 2 washes, 3 washes, that's already fade. So there's no money there. The money is the process is to get you as light as possible to get you that perfect fantasy color. That would be in the blend, that especially the blend. No one wants a demarcation. I mean, that's, you know, and that's another thing, going back to how important you said it is for education. You know, you need to stay updated with these things, because right now the trend is the blend. That demarcation, it looks like someone else did it in their basement. Yeah. You know, and
it just got dipped.
And it just got dipped. That is what's very important, and I take that very serious. I'm huge on the blend. It's definitely something that I need to make sure is perfect before the color is even perfect, because that's your foundation. That is what's going to attract the eye. And a lot of situations I have with a lot of my clients are sometimes I can't even get them that light. When they come in and they're like, I want a balayage and it's almost white, but they're coming in with a really dark hair. I'm like, you know what? Let's just focus on the balayage itself as opposed to the color. Let's get you a perfect blend today, and later in the future we can come back maybe 2 to 3 months and we can start working on that color. But right now, let's work on the foundation. The foundation is where it's at.
Do you have a technique for the balayage that where you approach hair? Or is it just every canvas is different? So you gotta know many different approaches of balayage.
Every canvas is definitely different. Depending how you want it to lighten, how you want the blend, how much you want it to lighten, it depends on what technique you're going to use. One thing that I do not agree in is that there's not only one way to balayage or do anything in ombre or whatever. You can come up with however you want to do it as long as you accomplish it. You know, you are the artist. You're the one who makes. The balayage was invented by one person, you know? Just by one person. Someone else probably had the same view in how to do a balayage, but it could have been a different way. You know, I have a lot of different techniques, again, depending on the client, whether she needs. Sometimes I even do the balayage like cheating way. I tease it and I put it in a packet, but only because that client needs that heat. You know, clients that pull a lot of red. So there's so many different ways I do my balayage, again, depending on the client.
And now, someone who's watching the show right now, loving the way you're talking, how can they get in contact with you to, you know, book a class? What's the class booking info?
So the classes that I'm doing right now is only with my company Cadis. So that's not something personal of my own work. I haven't, right now I am working on that with my management where I can start doing classes. So that's not even available. Personal classes with me is not available now. The only classes I can do is mostly with, again, with Cadis and Wellup, but that's something that's gonna have to go through them for them to set something up, and it's obviously with their products and about that. But right now I do not offer any classes of my own.
All right. But that's something
that is something definitely coming in the future.
Definitely coming in the future.
Salute to that.
Now, let's ask you couple more questions. Probably the last one though, because I'm looking at the time. Give me a crazy set life. You walked in, the lights is bright. You're walking in, and you're like, oh my God, I'm about to do her hair. Like, you have one of those?
A crazy set life, yeah. Actually, this was recently. I feel very blessed with the opportunity that just was practically handed to me, especially with the management that I'm with now. And one of our top artists that is under that same management, her name is Kaya Wright. Kaya is the one that her wigs are beautiful, and she does wigs for Tyra Banks. And she just recently did the one for Tyra Banks that she's coming back on America's Next Top Model. Now, that opportunity was given. This is actually something very important for me to say also, because of, you know, especially for people starting in the industry or making the move like what I did going to California. It's okay to do free work. Very okay. We need that. You know, we need that. And at the end of the day, it's not free work. We are getting paid. We're getting paid with an experience, with inspiration, and an education. Right. And I've never worked on. If you ever see me work on wigs, was sometime back in the day. I'll do a color for someone, but that's just me just playing around it. And I didn't know how to do wigs. I didn't want it. I just knew that I just wanted a regular client, whatever. Now with this experience that my manager told me the only way I can even be part of this is if I start working on extensions and wigs. And he threw me into this huge photo shoot with Kaya, and it was her entire wig collection where it was for her website, and I assisted her, and it was incredible. It was incredible. The experience to me was so limitless. What she had to show me and teach me was so inspiring, and now I'm doing wigs. Now I'm doing wigs, and that is crowns. Yeah. So that would definitely be that. to me. It was just being a part of that. Even though it wasn't my show or someone else's show, I just felt so good about it. And I went home proud of myself. And it was a 3-day set. I was there from 8 o'clock to like 7, 8, 9.
I mean, he's talking about wigs. And I remember, I don't know if you follow Hair Perfectionist from Brooklyn. This was like our third or fourth show. She came down and did wigs on the show. It was, we were bringing barbers and hairstylists together, but trust me, we're in the studio, we were like, man, she's really doing a show about wigs.
But wigs are big now.
Wigs are it right now.
Wigs, that's what they like to call them. People come on here and be like, oh, I call them crowns.
I call them crowns.
And the amount of money that it goes into some of these crowns are crazy. I know, what's his name? I know his name is Jordan, but I forgot his IG. Here he goes.
Oh, this is what a really good friend of mine, Darnell.
Darnell, yes. Here he goes.
He actually sent me a wig recently that we're working on together.
He's
right
over here. Powder room.
Yep.
Is it powder room?
May I ask a quick question, just so that we can kind of like help tie in to the next segment? What type of numbers are associated with like wig making and stuff like that? Like basic to like next level, like what you're doing?
I mean, I'm still getting new to that whole thing, like pricing, and that's what you're asking, right?
Yeah.
From what I know, I just worked on a wig that is not my wig. It's a wig of a really good friend of mine on social media that we just collaborated, and that wig goes from like just like $2,500, just the wig.
Here he goes. Man.
She's like, touch my soul.
Here he goes. He's like an exclusive crown maker. I mean, Powder Room.
Powder Room is a spot.
In Manhattan. It's been a while since we used to talk a lot on social media, just because the work that he did was crazy. One of his models, I think Hair Godzito just did one of the models. That she's a lipstick model or something. She was all over his page. Now
it was,
I see Hair Godzito.
I want to say her name was. You would know who she is. I want to say her name was Jasmine.
Yeah.
Okay.
But she used to be all over his page. Giancarlo, thank you so much for coming down to the show. Before we let you go, please let everybody know how they can get in contact with you and all your social media information that you'd like to do. Please do so now. The stage is yours, and when he's done, I'll actually do the same.
Thank you.
So you can definitely find me if you want to go to my location in Beverly. Well, not my location, but where I'm working in Beverly Hills is Brighton Salon, 9409 Brighton Way. And my social media is John Carlos Dela Cruz, Jon Carlos. And you can email me at johncarlosmgmt@gmail.com. And that's it, I think. You could call my mama, too, if you want to.
Salute to mommy.
So I'm I'm an on-site makeup artist, so I travel to you. But you could find me on social media by RMA. So let me spell that out. BYRMA.
It's not Burma?
No, it's not Burma. It's by RMA. Or you could email me at beautybyrma@gmail.com.
Thank you. We're going to go to these words by Always Pro. It's got And just a reminder, if you're a guest,
who's showcasing now?
If you're stepping away, just hit the mic off.
Who's showcasing on Lou the
right
Fagician at Paramount Styles in Dix Hills, New York? Who's cutting?
You got V up there doing his thing. Now, if you're watching the cut cam right now, and I know V probably don't want me to mention it, but I have to. If you remember the barbershop show on MTV, that man was on there.
Oh, ScissorSalute.
Dating back to there with Corey Rooney. Yeah, bringing it back there.
That was a long time ago.
Yes, it was.
Oh, okay.
But I'll let you know right now, V's been on the show before. I like to ScissorSalute that man. He actually owns a barbershop. He lives out here, but he owns a barbershop in the boroughs. As a Precision, is Precision?
Yeah, with Precision Cuts, is it?
What's the name of the spot? Can someone come and tell us so we can mention it on the mic? Anybody in the studio?
Steph.
Bueller. What?
Precision Barber Lounge.
Precision Barber Lounge. And in the chair, we have Lou DeFagician from Paramount Styles over there in Dix Hills, I believe.
Dix Hills, New York.
Dix Hills, New York. So in the studio tonight, there's a lot of talent, a lot of artists.
A lot of owners.
A lot of entrepreneur owners. So that's always great to see. We also have Dante Financial. He's here in the studio as well, the creator of the BBA, which is working towards the future of the profession to better the profession and progression. That's what it's about, and security. And because a lot of the time in our profession, all the time, there's been a big question mark, and hopefully the BBA will have the answers to the emptiness that the profession has right now. And he just gave us some of the companies that he's been in contact with. So we have Foster's here, Midland National Life Insurance Company, and Lincoln Financial Group. Those are the companies that are going to be affiliated with the BBA, and we're very excited to be announcing that in 2018 that the ScissorSalute will be presenting the BBA.
Eli, do you think that that's the reason why more people aren't becoming barbers and hairstylists?
I think in our profession, you don't have to be the greatest to make the money. But what's happening now with a lot of barbers and hairstylists that have been doing it for quite a while and are getting into it, they're not seeing, there's plenty of room for error in our profession. Quick room for error. Sneed brought it up early and it was great. Basically, not getting taught bad habits, breaking bad habits. So if you're in the routine and you're doing bad habits, it's hard to fix that. But if you're in the routine of going by the way it's supposed to be when you're in the barbershop, conducting yourself as a professional and trying to stay professional at all times, it just becomes natural. So the reason why I'm talking about that is with the BBA, hopefully with all this new blood coming into the profession, they will be able to see the benefits of the BBA and be able to grow something like they never grew before. The profession could grow to greatness with the BBA and have security in the future. What I mean by that is some of us need money management, some of us need health benefits, and all of us definitely need security just in case something happens. No one likes to talk about just in case something happens. You just choose to ignore it. But unfortunately, it happens. That's why it's called an accident. So we're going to be having more about the BBA coming up. But let's get back to the interview with the iCut Pro. Now, the iCut Pro brand, how did it come about?
I'll keep it really short. I just definitely wanted to create a platform for barbers to be recognized more. And I realized that there was nothing standardized in the industry. Like, the reason why there's so many different numbers being thrown around and stuff like that is because no one ever really took the initiative to say, hey, this is what we do, and this is what clients should expect, right? And at the time, I was kind of playing around with the whole My Barber's Black brand, and a light bulb hit me. The name, in terms of how the name came about, a light bulb hit me. But the reason I created iCut Pro was really to create a platform where professional barbers could be recognized. You know what I mean? And also to kind of like create a standardized version of what clients can experience. Kind of like the Big Mac theory that Sneed gave earlier, you know?
So what in the industry made you want to start your own brand? What did you see in the profession that was like, you know what? I'm starting my own brand.
All right. Let me paint the slide for a second. I was working at a shop, and I knew that I wanted to offer more to clients. And because it wasn't my shop, I really couldn't control the atmosphere in terms of offering more. I couldn't stop the barbers from doing the things that clients frown on. I couldn't control the music that we played or just the overall atmosphere. I couldn't control it. I couldn't control the pricing, but I knew I wanted to offer more. I got really tired of that atmosphere, and I started bringing it to management and saying, hey, if we do this, we could produce this, right? And every time I threw it up, they threw it back. Every time I threw it up, they threw it back. So I said, you know what? First of all, I need to get out of here. And I'm sure a lot of barbers go through that where they want to evolve, they want to go to the next level, but they're hitting that ceiling. I didn't want to keep going through that. So I left. And when I left, what I wanted to do was I wanted to study myself. I wanted to study what it is about me that I felt was valuable enough to offer to other people. You know, why am I thinking this way? Especially, you ever been saying something to someone and it's like you feel like you're crazy because it's like everybody, no one understands? I said, I need to get out of this environment. Let me study for a second what it is that I want to offer. And the iCut Pro system and iCut Pro really started in a private studio. You know, when I said, you know what, let me create a new environment, right? Let me perfect my craft. Let me take away all those things that clients frown on, and let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. And at that time, the one thing that I was doing was I was paying attention to my bottom line, the amount of money that I made. And that year that I left that barbershop, it was the most money I ever made in my career. I made 6 figures and some. So I knew that what I was doing was valuable, it's just that I wasn't in the right place. You understand? And then not too long after that, I met Donovan. You understand? And then Donovan and I started talking about the things. Well, Donovan, kind of give them an idea of how we met.
How we met was in Instagram, social media. I used to watch his page, and I would notice from his background, you know, it looked different. It didn't look like a traditional barbershop. It looked more of a private setting, the way like how your studio is here. So when I saw that, I knew he was doing something different, and the way he articulated himself, the way he presented himself, his posts. Then I would watch him, you know, say certain things, and I was like, hey, this dude is doing something different. And I reached out to him one day. He called me, and we must have been on the phone for about an hour and a half, our first conversation. And from that point, I took it further to go out and meet him in Deer Park. At that time, he was in Deer Park. And I had a big barbershop, 16 years. I had my shop around that time. It was about 7 barbers. I had hair braiders in the back, all that stuff. And when I got to link up with Todd and we got to talking, and the more we got to know each other, and the more he was letting me into his mind by giving me some of these jewels and where he's trying to go with this as far as the iCut Pro system. And as you know, this is over time it evolved. But when I started taking in that information and he started, you know, including me in on it, I started to apply the knowledge that he was giving me. And once I applied it, everything changed. It changed so much and it was so positive, I closed my shop down that I had for 16 years. And that's when I went and did 2 studios myself. So now I have a couple of studios, but I'll never go back to the traditional barbershop. Never.
And I don't think that there's something wrong with the barbershop. I just think that there's something wrong with the norm. Like who said
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
who said it was okay to who was the first person that said $20 for a haircut? Who was that guy? Because I need to talk to him. You know what I mean? Like, what were you thinking? Because now that's the language in the industry. And if you say $21, people look at you like you're crazy. So who is that guy? Who set the norm? The norm in barbershop has to change. And that's what I wanted to be instrumental in. I wanted to change that. And I had to leave the shop that I was working in order to do so.
Todd, do you think your bottom line, because when I think about owning my own barbershop, I think your bottom line should be everyone should feel comfortable coming to your shop. Everyone should feel safe coming to your shop. Everyone should walk past your shop and want to come in, not just direct your barbershop to one client or one type of client. Do you think that that is one of the bottom lines for iCut Pro?
Is it an all-inclusive concept? Absolutely. But it's also it also engages the client in a way that they can expect something outside of the norm. So if I tell a guy, hey, you're shaving yourself and you're getting irritation on your face, and I have a service that that remedies that situation, right? And he says no, then he's opting out on a next level experience. So in a sense, even though it is all inclusive, everyone may not get it. You understand what I'm saying? So I don't market I market to everyone, but I know that, that rock is only going to fall in certain people's yard. You understand? So so yeah, it is all inclusive.
Now, along with the iCut Pro, again, we was talking about at the beginning of the interview that how used to be going to different shops and fixing equipment. That's also another thing, like the signature skeleton clipper seems to be like the thing. Now, you also sell those, also sell that through the fraternity?
Yeah. Let me just say something about the skeleton for people for people that don't know, right? For the last few years, the name skeleton clipper has been attached to iCut Pro, and just to make it clear, that clipper, the construct of it, the way that it looks cosmetically, that is not of my manufacturing. I saw that somewhere, and just like anything else, if it has to be brought to the forefront, it's like, so I'm the person that took it and tested it, figured out why would someone do this? What are all the reasons why this works? Why is the reason why this will bond with the industry? And I studied it, and then I said the skeleton. So I came up with the name. So the name originated with me, right? And then it went viral, right? Because when it went out there, people were like, man, we've been doing that since 1995. And I was like, yeah, but that's like the tree that fell in the forest that no one was there to hear.
Right.
Like, did it really make a sound? You understand? So it wasn't my manufacturing, but I brought that product to life.
You marketed it.
I marketed it.
You branded it, you
Right.
marketed it, and you know what? Before that, it was just the clipper with the top cut off. I like
Accurate.
the skeleton thing, and again, sideline talk is so much easier to do. Just don't get upset that you didn't come up with a name like skeleton, because I feel like the skeleton is good. And that, Todd, you've been in this profession for a while, and even with the IG, we both pretty much stepped on, just like you with you and Donovan. We spoke on the phone plenty of times. I've told you about, the impact of the Latinos in this profession, and I've always been like, I feel like the black people needed the same type of thing. Like, we have Pacinos, and it just seems like you go to a hair event, and I know you guys been to hair events, you know that the Latinos, is 65% of the people in there are Latino.
Yeah,
and
more than 65, man.
Exactly. So So I used to talk to Todd and be like, yo, I feel like, he's the perfect face for it to happen, and to see the iCut Pro taking it where it is great. Now let's get onto the online availability in the school, and that, say you're in Washington and you can't come out to New York or whatever. Let's get on about the online schooling that you have.
Yeah, so just to kind of like put an end cap on the skeleton. So the skeleton, we created that, and then boom, all of a sudden, when viral happens, right?
Right.
When viral happens, a lot of different things happen, and a lot changed in my life when that product went crazy, right? It still goes crazy.
Yes.
And a lot of questions arise. So I had to start answering a lot of questions that I've never been asked before.
It was a demand.
Yeah, it was a demand for answers. So the first tour, for everybody that remembers the first tour, I started it in Brooklyn at Pro Cuts Barbershop, and then we went, I think it was like 22 cities, and then we went and did another tour. And post-tour and after-tour, post-skeleton and after-skeleton were two different tours, right? So the viral created demand for answers, and I just couldn't keep up, because once I finished the second tour, I was like, I'm not going back on the road. The road is tiring. So I wanted to create something that people can get those answers without me having to go anywhere, right? And the academy came out of that, right? Always recording videos, and I have tons of content that I haven't even looked back at yet, just because it's a time thing, you know what I mean? But the online schooling came about by trying to provide answers for barbers that ask numerous questions about everything. And one of the main questions that are being asked right now is, how do I increase my income? So I've been focusing on that before I give another tutorial about how to do a fade, like YouTube University. Everybody's doing a haircut tutorial. So I didn't want to focus on that. I wanted to focus on real answers, the things that people really want to know. You know what I mean? If you've been doing barbering for 10 years and you haven't made 6 figures yet, like, what are you doing? that kind of answer.
Right.
You know. So.
And so there is an app, the iCut Pro app as well.
Yeah, so the iCut Pro Academy is a website, icutproacademy.com. The iCut Pro app is something that's been out for about 5 years now, and you can get access to the Academy via the app. So, yes, icutproacademy.com, that's where you're going to find the answers.
What's the importance of the name, Sneed?
Of what? My regular name?
Haircut Pro.
Oh, what's the? Oh, you asking me or
anybody?
I mean, I'm strictly skills. He's Haircut Pro. We all the fraternity. But what's the purpose of the name Haircut Pro, Todd?
I was always good with like coming up with like slick names and stuff like that. But me and Sneed and Donovan and all of us, we talk all the time, and we always come up with like, you know, crazy ideas, or like I'll have an idea for his brand, or he'll have an idea for mine, and you know, likewise, right? And sometimes when we talk, we just, you know, like, man, I got something for you, and it's just for you, like, you know, I can't use it, and the Haircut Pro kind of like came out of conversation and stuff like that, and it was like, you know, you the Haircut Pro, and I was like, really? Am I now? Okay, cool, thanks. You know what I mean? So, but the importance of a name, I think Sneed could probably elaborate on that, because we've talked about that before.
I mean, Haircut Pro, iCut Pro is I as individual. Haircut Pro, that could apply to the shop. So at Haircut Pro, pretty much all of them are pros, licensed, and ready to give you that iCut Pro, you know, experience. The hot towel, the serum, that feeling after the cut, you know, like you got a self-feeling with the haircuts now.
Yeah, so give us a difference between, let's say, paying for a haircut and then paying for iCut Pro service.
The difference between paying for a haircut is that, like, when you walk into a shop and the barber says, who's next, right? He's not really focused on you, the individual. He's focused on the hair that's on your head and making sure that it hits the floor. When you walk into one of our, you know, establishments for that experience, we're focused not only on the hair coming off your head, but how you feel when you go through that process. The amount of time that you spend in that chair, right? What you feel like when you get out of the chair, and, you know, what goes into you booking another service.
Right.
Like
when
we
you
focus,
come back.
we focus on that. So yeah, it's a haircut, but at the end of the day, this business is about returning customers, returning clients. So if you don't know how to get clients to come back, you'll always be the guy that's just giving a haircut and putting hair on the floor, and we don't do that, right? Because, you know, like how they say you got to secure the bag, right? The iCut Pro experience secures the bag.
So salute to that.
I love hearing that. Now, do you think owning a barbershop is easy? You know, if so, why and why not?
I'm new to the ownership thing. I never really wanted to own a barbershop until I created iCut Pro. I never really wanted to deal with barbers, the inconsistency of barbers, the excuses that they have, you know, the nonsense that they do. I never wanted to have to deal with that. And that's the reason why I focused on the clipper repair and different things of that nature, right? But I mean, these two gentlemen here are way more experienced than I am in ownership. My experience I've been blessed since I've opened my doors, because I have some amazing staff members. ScissorSalute to Coop, Rena, Issa, Ray, everybody that had, Lenny Matic, everybody that has worked with me. Like, I'm blessed, man. Right? So now,
I've seen that.
So is it easy? Yeah. But these gentlemen will probably tell you something. What's difficult, or what?
I mean, I think it's tough owning a barbershop as far as like say if you cannot manage personalities. So if you can't manage personalities, and if you're not the top dog in that barbershop, it's hard to run a barbershop. So you have to be the top dog, the main money maker, because you know a lot of people, like say if a barber owns a barbershop and he don't cut the most hair in the shop, he gonna want you to leave at 8 because he think his light bill is so high if you stay past 8 o'clock, and he think and 9 times out of 10 when a barber got the most clientele, he feels like without him, the shop ain't gonna run. Like, so, you know, it's a lot that goes into it.
It's funny because because I think that's one of the reasons why a lot of like foolishness happens in barbershops, because owners have to put up with the inconsistency of barbers, because why? They're depending on that chair rent, right? Like for me, or even Sneed, we talked about like, man, I want to be able to manage everything on my own before I decide to open a shop, meaning whether your clientele is that strong or whether you can generate that type of income to cover your bills. So that way, if somebody comes in and how you say, tries to water down your brand, you'll be able to say, hey, listen, this is not going to work.
Place for you.
Yeah. And a lot of what goes on in these barbershops happen because owners put up with nonsense because they try to get that money for the chair.
Yeah, so there's the pros and cons of owning an establishment can vary or whatever. And just like Todd said, myself, I'm just a barber, wouldn't want to own a barbershop because I don't want to deal with people and all the excuses. I will say this, the way information is getting changed on social media, and especially here at the ScissorSalute show, where we've had owners from California, we've had owners from different countries even in the studio, and talk about how to run an establishment and all their opinion. I know if I was to do it, I would be right there with DL Master. You are going to have to sign a lease. This is going to be the lease. You're going to have to sign it. You're going to have to read through that very thoroughly, because you're not going to be able to leave my establishment and go work up the block. Nope. You're going to sign that lease, and you're going to get 7 square miles if you leave my barbershop. You're not going to be able to work 7 square miles of the shop. You're not going to take, well, you know what we worked so hard for and just run with it. You know, all that. Or I'll pay you rent. I could be able to come and go as I please. No problem. Here's the base set rent. But if you want to come and go as you please, here's this rent. This much rent. Which I did it before. $200 a week. If someone wants to come and go as they please, you give me $300 a week. I'll let you go and come and go as you please, and you can do whatever you want. You know, but it's just, we can sit here and talk about the pros and cons or whatever. It's always going to be up and down. Again, it's going to be the same result. You get in, but you know your end result is what you put in.
But you want to build your brand to where it should be a pleasure for them to work there.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, like I mean,
Oh, we have a call?
Yeah, that's the cuts by Kendria. The young.
Hello, you're live on air with the ScissorSalute show.
Hello. Hey.
Hello, you want to introduce yourself?
Hey, Kendria.
I'm Kendra. out of Florida. I'm 17 years old. And I go by Kendra on Instagram.
Ah, 17 years old. New to it, huh?
Nah, she ain't new.
She ain't new.
She been here before.
She been cut.
She nice with it?
She's ridiculous.
She been here before,
Go ahead, Sneak.
Well, let me introduce Cuts by Kendria, since she's a little timid, a little shy. Well,
I'm nervous.
she's a young barber, female, lefty, right? And
Yes, sir.
And she cuts hair out. I think out of a house, right?
Yes, sir.
She cut hair out of the house, but she's giving barbers smoke on Instagram. So if you check out Cuts by Kendria, she's one of the rawest youngest barbers, and she's a female on Instagram.
I guess IG is CUTSBYKENDRIA out of Polk County, Florida. Haircuts is official, very smooth on the transitions. Well, are you a fan of the cordless clippers? Are you using cordless clippers, or are you still plugged in?
I'm still plugged in. I use the designer clippers by Andy.
Are you using the designers? Okay, I see you got the magic clips. Right? Those
No, sir.
clips?
They're not the cordless
walls,
ones.
though.
They're the,
Oh, the wars. Okay,
the
so the
designer
seniors.
ones.
No, the designers. Well, she got a zebra. You got a zebra on there or something.
Well,
Yeah,
you know,
Yes, sir.
what Kendria, she reached out to me a while ago because like she felt like she was doing more, and for the customers, and they wasn't respecting her price, so she felt like she was doing more than she was getting paid for. So she reached out to me and asked me, like, how should I go about this price increase? And I told her, put that price up, let them leave. They're going to come back because it's nobody in Florida smoking like that. So they're going to come back because they know her worth, and I'm not sure how that went. How's the price increase going?
Yeah, some of them left, but they coming back. It's like, I don't know. It's like they would go to a barber shop and pay more than what they pay for me, and not as good as the quality as what I do. I guess they do that because I'm not in a barber shop yet. I guess I've heard people say it too, like, you ain't in a barber shop, so you shouldn't be charging this price and that price. But I give them quality work, and I give them hair fibers if they need it, if they want it. And
how did you get into
they
barbering?
just don't respect my prices.
How did you get into barbering?
I used to just sit in the barbershop with my brothers, my little brothers, while they used to get their haircut. And then one day, my stepdad had some clippers, and my mom had left, and I just told myself that I was going to cut my little brother's hair, and he let me do it. And when I got done, he looked real good, so I just kept doing it. Like, my mom was even surprised that I knew how to fade that good. Like, I just kept paying attention. It was just something that I wanted to do.
But how long ago was that?
This was like when I was 11, turning 12.
Because you look like you've been cutting for about 15. For real.
No,
sir.
to that. The
I
haircuts are really good quality
Yeah,
here.
quality, definitely.
Good quality. I'll definitely,
Thank you.
And
I
her
definitely
Instagram.
recommend and take that advice from Sneed. Just always have your price, always have your set price. And if you've been watching the show, we've been talking about
Yes,
branding yourself, and you start off at 17 doing what you're doing with the skills that you have. You know, the sky's the limit. You'll be doing really big things really soon. We gotta let you go, but before we let you go, you know, if you're ever in New York and you want to come down here and you want to showcase, feel free to email us ScissorSalute@yahoo.com. But before we let you go,
Yes, I will be coming soon.
before we let you go, let everybody know how they can get in contact with you and all your social media information that you'd like to share with us. Please do so now. The stage is yours.
You can get in contact with me through my Instagram. It's at Cuts by Kendria, CUTS by Kendria, KENDRIA. Or you can reach me at Facebook at Kendria Jacobs.
Well, thank you so much for calling in.
Thank you.
All right, Kendria.
Thanks, Kendria.
Now,
Thank you.
Tom, we known each other about 4 years now. Give us the mission for iCut Pro. It's got to be like something coming up. What's the mission? What is the total mission of the iCut Pro?
Professional barbers setting industry standard. We have to set an industry standard, right, as barbers across the board, because what's going to happen is people are going to respect our craft more. Everyone is complaining about, oh, they don't respect my prices. We want to have a standardized way of presenting haircuts and the experience to clients so that they can expect a certain thing and expect to pay a certain price, right? And it's funny that Kendra was just on the phone because she's 17 and she's taking counsel from Mr. Juggernaut over here. So guess what? Evolve or evaporate.
Right.
Because somebody that's 17 years old right now is coming to replace you.
Like Donovan said, he because I asked him the importance of someone starting out early in their career, going to the iCut Pro fraternity. How important do you think that is?
Yeah, early in their career, because of what's going on in the industry right now, there's a major shift happening, and you know that there's a shift happening because everybody's. Do you notice barbers are having these rants on social media about they're going up on their prices, or clients not respecting them, or they'll post something that a client said to them. That's a rant, and that's frustration. And the reason why we're having that is because there is nothing standardized. You know what I mean? No one has addressed the issues that we have in the industry. That's what I'm focused on. And if I can't work with the people that are in the industry currently, I'm going to work with new blood. You understand? But evolve or evaporate, because the change is happening right now. The shift is taking place. And if you don't get up to date with the standard that we're setting, and when we talk about the fraternity, it's not like a barber team or, you know, anything like that. These are my brothers, like, you know what I mean? So with or without the fraternity, we rock the same way. But the idea is, I know that if he sends me a client and I respect his work, I know what to present to his client.
There's a support system.
Correct. And also, if a person enters the industry at a young age, like when I was 14, 15 and I started cutting hair, there was no iCut Pro that would counsel me on how to go about doing things. You know what I mean? So I know that the people that are coming into the industry need that support system. That's what the fraternity is for. We talk every day. You know what I mean? All of us, like 50 something of us.
So we could get back to the cut cam real quick. Let's get back to the cut cam. Now let's walk out to the state.
If he doesn't,
we all gotta walk back out there now. Ooh. We're gonna ask all guests. I'm so cold. You know, if you do hair, come up on the stage.
Because I'm look crazy.
What's going on here? What's going on here? We're gonna ask everyone to come back up to the front. Ask John Carlo get back up on the stage. Huh? Okay, we'd like to thank everybody who's tuned into the ScissorSalute show. Again, you can want to show some support to us. Very simple, press that share button, and that's showing support right there. That's pretty much a start of it. We'd like to ScissorSalute John Carlo for coming up on to the show, the whole iCut Pro fraternity for coming in, Donovan, Todd, Sneed, V back there cutting, even Ludy Faye just over there. What's he getting?
Paramount Style.
Getting sharpened up. I guess that was up in here cutting earlier. Where's Pro Fade X? See, this is what you do. Because everyone's going to know your name. Like, if you don't know the name, you can see his shirt, and then that's it. That's
model?
his name.
What's the model's name?
Karan. We'd like to salute them. Again, if you're watching this right here, just keep on pressing the share button. Share it as much as you can. Make sure you check out iCut Pro on IG. And if you're wondering how you can be part of the fraternity, very simple. Just DM them and ask the question. Ask away. Follow them. Is it just straight iCut Pro?
iCutPro.com, central to everything.
Oh, central to everything. You got Sneed the Great One right here, Donovan. If all you have to do is very simple, you DM them, you ask them about the fraternity. The benefits is pretty much self-explanatory. We have enough people up in here. We're going to do a ScissorSalute sound off. There's a lot of us up in here. All right? There's many of us. So just put your hands in right here. Right here, one time. I'm going to back up so we make enough room. Now, there's a lot of us, so we can make it real loud. So when I say scissor, you say salute. Say it as loud as you can. Ready? Scissor!
Salute!
Woo! It was not loud, but it was smooth. It was deep. It was like almost harmony right there, right? Well, thank you so much for watching the ScissorSalute show. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, ScissorSalute show. Please continue to use the hashtag. And if you like house music, my house show's coming up on StrongIsland.tv, the quickest growing TV channel on Facebook. ScissorSalute.
Salute.
Let's get the microphones.
All right.
Thank you for everyone for coming and sharing and
Good show.
doing all this other stuff.
Hey!